Amoy! It is Joinen, and you listen to me. Young one, you have been doing everything wrong. Everything in your entire life. Up until this moment where Brightside teaches us that you are doing it wrong. You used it wrong your whole life. You're using public bathrooms wrong, even. All of it. Today we get to the bottom of what it is that we're all doing wrong. Just like the color of the light in the background.
Those paper toilet seat covers aren't meant to be used the way many do. Ripping off that flap that looks like a tongue is not the right way. Instead of...
Wait, okay. Woo! Woo! Quick! Quick! Quickly, tell us! No chance to breathe. Straight into it. Brightside, they're like, you've got no time. You've been doing it all wrong. Those toilet seat covers. You're supposed to leave the paper in the middle. First of all, I feel like I've never seen one of these in my life. Second of all, you're supposed to leave it and you're supposed to just sit straight down on it. Let it drop on its own. It'll reach a critical point and then it will... Anyway.
Tearing it off or sticking it at the back, let that flap sit in the bowl after putting down the cover. Flushing will allow the suction to pull down the flap and take it away.
But I feel like it would soak it up. I feel like it would soak it up. It would like seep into up to the bit that's underneath my legs. You thought they were non-flushable? What are you supposed to do with them? I feel like I've never seen one.
You no longer need to touch it after using it. Whew, that's a relief on so many levels. There isn't much privacy in a public toilet, especially when the door doesn't reach the floor.
Wait, is this just like toilet hacks? Like, is this the whole time? It's just, you've been toileting wrong. You're not actually supposed to sit down at all, ever.
Those gaps work for ventilation and to stop people from lingering around for too long. It also allows emergency access in case the person inside needs immediate attention.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, ceiling fans...
And so what was I doing wrong? Were you telling me that what I was doing wrong in that situation with the gaps on the bottom of the doors was I was just thinking about them wrong? I was just thinking they were there for no good reason.
aren't just for hot days. There's a little switch on top that can change the direction of the fan. The summer setting runs counterclockwise to suck the cooler air up, while the winter setting moves clockwise, pushing the warmer air down.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that. I suppose that's probably how it works. I'm a big fan of the switch on the fan. Back where I used to live, I had one of those, and I don't know if it's the cold air and the hot air. It's just when it's on the summer mode, it's pushing air straight onto you. When you turn it on to the winter mode, you can still get your circulation, but it's not pushing air directly down onto you. It's still moving air around the room though, keeping it nice and fresh. That's how I always thought about it.
Full signal bars on your cell doesn't mean you've got the best signal at all. Every phone manufacturer uses their own algorithm that senses the strength level of the available signal. From that, they can show as many or as few bars as they choose. There's quite a bit of difference between the bars from one phone to another. Me, I prefer chocolate bars.
Is that true? Is that true, Mr. Brightside man? You're out on a country road, cruising down the highway. You're running low on some mobile bars, and there it happens. Bam, something bad. And you're not in the car anymore. Now you're on the side of the road. Your leg's off. And you're not in a good way. But you do have your phone with you. So you struggle your phone out of your pocket. And you're looking at it. And you're like, there's no bars. I can't call anyone. But luckily, I've got chocolate bars. Hey, look. Always look on the bright side.
Pre-rinsing your dishes before putting them into the dishwasher might be all for nothing. Most modern dishwashers have sensors inside to sense how dirty your plates are. This allows them to wash the dishes with a controlled amount of water. Scrape any solid food away and stack properly, allowing the dishwasher to do the hard work.
Sensors to detect how dirty your dishes are? Nah. I know almost nothing about dishwashers, but I highly doubt that. There's no way. There's no way your dishwasher is busy washing the dishes. Then it's like, oh wait, hold on. There's one plate there It's got a real sticky bit. And that is not coming off. Let me use an extra liter of water. Even if it could tell, the rinsing is surely using less water than the random jet that it's chucking around the place. So what were we doing wrong? Right, rinsing. I refuse. I refuse to believe that one. The more crud you put in, the more it gets gunked up in the machine. That's true as well. Then because you've got that filter thing that you got to pull out, and it's all this like congealed like orange chunks of stuff that you need to get out with your hands. It's grotty as. Get that off the plate before you put it in the dishwasher.
That little disc that's underneath bottle caps isn't just a leftover part of the production process.
It's to make a seal, right? It's like a little rubbery bit. It makes the seal stronger.
It creates an even tighter seal with the lid. So even if you turn the bottle upside down, the liquid doesn't leak out everywhere.
Is there anyone that didn't assume that? Is that not just common sense? Is anybody's mind blown? The seal on the bottle cap is actually a seal so that the liquid doesn't get out. A fact, not a hack. What was I doing wrong then? Again, it's trying to tell us that the thing we were doing wrong is thinking about it. We were thinking about it wrong. We were busy thinking about that little plastic bit as a leftover part from the manufacturing process. But we were wrong. We've been doing that wrong our whole life. The way we need to be thinking about it is it's a seal.
That plastic disc keeps carbonated sodas carbonated for longer as well. So keep it if it's going back into the fridge.
Keep it. Don't dig in there and rip half your nail off trying to pull it out because of some pesky leftover thing from the manufacturing process. Lazy bottle makers. Quit doing that. Every single bottle you buy, you gotta get that thing out there. Quit doing that. You've been doing it all wrong. Do you know how hard it is to get those out? Nobody's just taking them out because they just feel like it. I have a theory all these channels are made by aliens. Someone spends 3 months on planet Earth. Whoa! Guys, you're not going to believe this. Those caps things on the little plastic bits on the cap, they provide the seal.
Placing a wooden spoon across a pot of cooking pasta can prevent the water from boiling over. This will destabilize the bubbles when they contact the spoon, preventing a spillover onto the stovetop.
Okay, Grandma. What is that? What is that supposed to be? Here's like the oldest kitchen life hack there possibly is. This thing is, cavemen have been doing this one, and they've been telling their kids about it. Yeah, let me blow your mind. Brightside thinks it can steal that one from us. Doesn't work very well. I don't know. I've never done it because I just, turned the heat down or something a little bit. But it's not like Brightside. If Brightside thought they were the first ones to tell me that.
A progress bar at 50% doesn't mean half of the file has been downloaded. Almost all of the files could have been downloaded, or none. They're just there to ease your mind.
Kind of. Okay, I've heard that before, but I've heard like an actual long-winded explanation about how that actually works. The way he summed that up made no sense. Progress bars aren't progress bars. They're just there because why not? It's a good little thing to look at, but who really knows? Like, he's not technically wrong. If your file is 50% copied across, then it's not copied across. But I think we all know that. Well, isn't every computer graphics-based thing just there to ease our minds? Yeah. The text on the Twitch chat isn't actually somebody talking. It's somebody typing, and the text is just there to ease your minds. It's so that you know what they typed, they actually did, that they wanted you to see that, just to ease your mind. The mouse cursor. It doesn't really exist. It's just a few pixels on the screen, just to ease your mind. I get it. Look, I watched some YouTube video about progress bars once, and they were saying something like, they don't actually really know, it's always an estimate, but it says estimate anyway. I think that's what he was trying to get at, that it's just an estimate. It doesn't actually know exactly how much is copied.
Internet speeds and network availability are the keys to how quickly a download will complete. The computer's hard drive decides how to process and put the files where they need to be, which will run slower if it's old or full.
Obviously. You heard it here first. You've been doing it wrong your entire life. Turns out floppy disks, they're a bit slower than your brand spanking new SSDs. Tom Scott? Of course it was a Tom Scott video.
Whether you're copying files, loading a level in a game, or installing an app on a phone, it is 2021 and progress bars and loading time estimates still suck just as much as they did back when they looked like this.
Brightside watches like 5 Tom Scott videos and they're like, all right, here we go. We're making a video today, folks.
Perfect smoothie. Put the liquids in first, then add any ingredients after you've put milk, coconut water, coffee, or yogurt. This will allow the perfect swirl to blend everything properly.
Yeah, it's in the blender. It's in the blender, my guy. It'll be fine. Just chuck the things in the blender. Why does it matter? You've been doing it wrong. You gotta think about it. Yeah, think about it. Why the stem? Hey, look, this has been said in a video before. This is Big Strawberry. Big Berry wants you to believe that you can't eat strawberry stems. They're perfectly edible. They don't taste like anything. Just pop the whole strawberry in your mouth, ultimate power move. I got no problems with the fact that they chucked the whole strawberry with the stem into the blender. Especially in a blender. You're not going to be able to tell the difference at all.
That hole inside the pasta fork stirrer doesn't only drain water out, it's a great measuring tool for how much spaghetti to cook.
Oh, you've said this. Yeah, you've said this before. And I don't like it anymore now. You know, I've had time to think it over, and I still just am saying no. I don't like that.
Per person. The hole is the recommended amount for a single serving.
You think? I don't know. I feel like they're different sized holes, right?
Speaking of openings,
and people like different amounts of food.
Metal zippers have a hidden lock built in. Wasn't that clever? Putting the zipper downwards creates a lock with the teeth of the zipper. If left in the upwards direction, it's free to move around.
What? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Hold up. Oh, it does work. It does work, just not on this one.
Pressing the crosswalk button won't always make the walk signal come up. These buttons can be divided into 3 categories. The first needs to be pressed. The second won't work. And the third requires a push of the button to activate that.
Wait, what on earth? Wait, what are we looking at?
Pressing the crosswalk button won't always make the walk signal come up. These buttons can be divided into 3 categories.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking, like, what crossing has 3 different buttons? But they're saying, like, some of them work differently.
The first needs to be pressed. The second won't work. And the third requires a push of the button to activate that walk signal after a certain time in the day.
That is the boringest fact I've ever heard in my life. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And sometimes they only work at a certain time of the day. Anyone who's ever been to a city, ever used a crosswalk, like, this is just basic common sense.
It all depends on what city you're in, the time of day, and where you are in that city. I wish there was a 4th category that would squirt water at the person next to you when pressed.
You're a weird dude. You're just a weird dude. He just always puts his random 2 cents in.
But hey, that's just me. Sticky notes are meant to be removed from the block at a side angle. Pulling from the bottom just makes the paper curl up and not as sticky over time. The drawer at the bottom of your
speed round. We got a few.
Isn't meant to be a storage locker for all the fry pans, pots, and baking trays. It's actually a warming drawer. This will keep hot foods at a nice temperature, ready for serving. Interesting.
I don't have one of those. I don't remember ever seeing one, but interesting, I guess, if you had one. Were people using it as a storage drawer? That doesn't seem right.
Tinfoil and plastic wrap boxes have a special design on there to hold that roll in place. A cardboard tab on each end that works like a lock. Push those tabs in and the roll will stay inside the box.
I know that one. But top tip with the plastic wrap, look, the other one's fine. If you got baking paper, aluminium foil, whatever it is, you could do whatever you want, keep it in that box, get some good smooth tears. The trick with plastic wrap, all right? Because whenever you try to tear it, it kind of goes awkward and ends up all folded in on each other. The real trick is get good. Throw the box away. You don't need it. The box is never on your side. It doesn't want you to win. It wants you to fail, because then you've got to throw that bit out and get a new part. It just never tears properly. It's horrible. Where you just need that little roll. You get a little bit, you put it out on the bench. Here's the trick. You grab it around the roll. The rest of it's out there. Put your arm down, grab it, and just go like this. Perfect, clean, smooth tear every time. If you're no good, give it a couple goes. You'll be good at it in no time. You'll get a way cleaner tear. I tell you, throw the box away for the plastic wrap. It's not helping you.
That little pocket on your jeans wasn't designed for loose change or keys. They're originally designed for the pocket watch and the...
You trying to tell me? Are you implying that I've been doing it wrong my whole life? Stop putting your change and keys in that little pocket. It's for your pocket watch, you idiot. Where have you been putting it?
1890s. Around those pocket areas, there are rivets sticking out as well. They're there to help reinforce the sensitive areas of the jean that get the most wear and tear. Repeatedly pushing the closed door button on a US elevator isn't going to make it close any sooner.
Yeah, but it's definitely a little bit therapeutic, you know? It definitely helps when there's someone creepy coming towards the elevator and you need to go to the toilet or something, you're trying to get back up to your apartment. It definitely makes it feel like it's like you're doing something. It's like bobbing the tea bag in the tea. Who knows? But you want to feel like you're doing something.
In 1990, the U.S. passed a Disabilities Act for elevators, which meant that elevators had to ensure that someone with a disability had time to get inside one. The only people who can bypass this are emergency workers in building maintenance. They'll have keys or even special codes that make that button operational.
You telling me there's a secret key out there? I can get my hands on a secret key that lets me close elevator doors whenever I want?
Erasers usually have two different colored sides, pink and blue. The pink is for the pencil, but so is the blue. The blue side is made for thicker pages, like what an artist would use. It's not made to remove penning, as many people believe.
Yeah, many people did believe until they tried it and absolutely tore their page apart. And they're like, geez, why do they even make these things? They don't work.
That's because people who write in pen don't make mistakes. Nah, I'm just kidding. The rearview mirror glass isn't...
You got me there, Mr. Brightside. Such a classic.
...truly flat as it looks. It's thicker on one side than the other. The toggle switches the mirror between the day and night mode. When a car is behind you at night, there will be glare coming off their headlights that are potentially blinding to the driver. Pushing that little switch down or up changes the way light passes through it and reflected back.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, usually I'd have a go at Brightside for just saying something super obvious, like, yeah, that's the point, that's what it's for. But a weird number of people don't know that. I encourage Brightside to say that because, like, it's weird how many people don't actually use that. And it's actually good. I use it every single time I'm night driving. They do the little flick. Some people, like these days, people have the most obnoxious headlights you can get. And then they got these really tall cars, and so it's just like blinding. You just go, and you're good. Good. You just keep on driving. You just flick that thing back when they move out into the other lane. You don't need to keep it on all night, but just like when there's someone with really obnoxious headlights behind you, give it a little flick. Give the mirror a flick. People, start flicking your mirrors.
Pouring out juice or milk with a spout at the bottom leads to a glugging effect that splashes the liquid all around.
Turn it around.
To avoid this,
or from the
flip
other
the
direction.
carton around with the spout on the top. This allows better airflow to happen, allowing a more even flow.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Slow cookers work by trapping the heat inside and gradually cook food over a period of time. Lifting the lid to check on its progress, like a pot lid, will allow the heat to escape, increasing the amount of cooking time considerably. For more, please refer to "A watched pot never boils."
You used it wrong your whole life. You idiots. You've been doing it completely wrong. by the way, when you're trying to cook something, the heat comes out when you take the lid off. You dum-dums.
Getting one Tic Tac out of that tiny container can usually end up as fun. But we've been doing it wrong the whole time. There's a hole built into the lid of the container.
You're late to the party, Brightside. You're giving us the literal oldest tricks in the book. You literally opened up the book of oldest tricks and started at number 1.
That does more than keeping the lid closed tightly. Flip the container upside down, and one Tic Tac will be stuck in the lid. No kidding. I've stayed up nights worrying about this.
Yeah.
Storing natural peanut butter with the lid on top will always leave peanut oil sitting on the top of the sticky stuff. The best way to store it is upside down. That way, when it's taken out, you can flip it over and open it with all the oil sitting on the bottom instead.
Yeah, except that, like, you want to mix it back in. When you're eating peanut butter, you don't want to eat all the peanut butter and then be left with like half a cup of oil at the bottom of a jar. You want it to be on top so that you can easily mix it back in. So you eventually end up with dry peanut butter. Exactly. You end up with just blended peanuts, just dry, crumbly peanuts. And then you've got some good cooking oil at the end. Drink the oil. Yeah, you got a nice little peanut oil shot.
Chinese takeaway containers are more than just a box.
You open the thing
sides,
up,
and it will turn into a plate
tricks
for easier eating. I hate to break it to you, but changing the thermostat setting in the vast majority...
We know! It's just that the heater turns off when it gets to that temperature, or the aircon turns off when it gets to that We know this stuff.
Won't do a single thing. The system controls are kept inside the air ducts, not on the walls. Those dummy thermostats are to give the illusion that the air conditioning or heat is changing. The most they'll change is 1 or 2 degrees. That's if they're connected at all.
No, hold on. No, that's major conspiracy. That's big time conspiracy there, Brightside. You're going hardcore into this, saying that they do absolutely nothing. The whole point is that you get the room up to the temperature before it turns off. If you're heating the room up and you put on like 26 Celsius or something, the point is that same hot air is coming out. It would just stop at 26. It will like stop heating at 26. I truly don't think that's true. And the other thing is, like, people will always say that. People always say, oh, it'll stop or whatever it is. But like, who are we to say that every single heater in the world works the exact same way?
Well, sports drinks may benefit athletes engaged in long or intense training. They're
actually not that good for you. They're actually just full of sugar.
Designed for most gym goers. All those bright colored drinks are filled with electrolytes that will increase your performance and rehydrate you fast. Your exercise habits, the duration, and the intensity of your training all come into whether you need that extra boost or not.
Yeah, I know. I walked to the kitchen today. I think I need a sports drink.
Non-stick pans make cleaning up a breeze after cooking a meal. But what makes a non-stick pan so useful is the coating. However, metal utensils on the pan will increase the chances of scratching or ruining the coating.
Really? Really, Brightside?
So it's best to opt for those made of wood or plastic.
Okay, but that's not even... Dude, okay, there's so many better facts you could have gone with that. Sure, not to use metal utensils on non-stick coatings, but everybody knows that. Why not go for like the slightly less popular fun fact of like that coating comes off, it smokes off if you put your burner too high. You gotta make sure that if you're using a non-stick pan, that your temperature isn't set too high on your stove, because you'll be burning off the toxic stuff and then you're eating it and it goes in your food. That's bad. That's what you should be telling people, not use too high heats with non-stick pans. That's actually important information.
Some toothbrushes have a pattern of blue bristles weaved within the white ones. They're not just to make it look fancy. The blue dye is designed to wear down over time. A handy reminder for replacing your toothbrush every...
No, it's not. The blue bristles do not wear it. The whole thing just goes... All of it. It's just the entire thing goes... And then you know.
Every 3 to 4 months. Toothpaste tubes aren't tagged with colors at the bottom to show what ingredients are in them. Instead, the markers are designed that way for the assembly line machines, telling them where to cut and fold the tube so that each toothpaste tube is the same size. Wow, knowing that, now I can sleep better.
Yeah, dude, me too. Me too. Jeez, now I wonder why I've been so stressed recently. The overwhelming sense of calm that I feel now. Thank you, Brightside. Make sure not to miss the new big event. There's a big event that I am holding on Twitch. It's going to be Friday the 13th, so that it's easy to remember, 12 p.m. Except for the fact that it's not that easy to remember because if you live in the US, it's actually the day before, like 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be declassifying another Joinen video that cannot be shown on YouTube due to copyright purposes. Completely disallowed from being shown on YouTube. Not just not monetizable, can't even be shown. So that's why we're showing it over on Twitch. 7-second riddles. It is the final video about 7-second riddles and about how their channel is dying. Make sure you're there. It's gonna be fun.